Hi, Allie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So the last time we were together, you gave me your 5-day food diary, and then I went ahead and entered that into MyPlate. So what MyPlate did was gave me a daily food plan for you based on the information you gave me. This gives you some recommendations for the daily amounts for each food group. So as far as grains go, MyPlate suggests that you have 7 ounces of grains a day, 3 cups of vegetables, 2 cups of fruit, 3 cups of dairy, and 6 ounces of protein. They also suggest that you are physically active for at least 150 minutes a week, and to keep your oils under 6 teaspoons a day, limit your calories from sugars to 270 calories a day, and reduce your sodium intake to less than 2,300 milligrams a day. So I went in and entered all of your food, and based on the MyPlate recommendations, your averages were a little low on some of the food groups, but okay on others. As far as milk, you were okay with 3.2 averages a day. Meat and beans, you were at 6 ounces a day, which is great. Fruits, you were pretty low. You were only at 0.4, and you're supposed to be at 2 cups, so we kind of need to work on that. I have some suggestions for you. As far as vegetables, you were okay as well at 2.8 cups a day. Grains, you were okay at 4.4, and fats and oils, you were a little under, which is okay. So some suggestions to keep you right on track. As far as your grains, you want to try to make half your grains whole grains and aim for at least 3.5 ounces of grains per day. For your vegetables, you might want to vary them. Aim for different colors of vegetables, some dark green, red and orange, or also starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes are good. As far as your fruits, which is where you're struggling, you want to try to eat a variety of fruit each day. Maybe choose like an apple or a banana to snack on rather than candy, and do whole fruit or cut up fruit rather than fruit juices. With your milk and dairy, you want to try to drink fat-free or low-fat milk, and then go for maybe a cheese stick or a yogurt in a day. Try calcium fortified soy products as well. And with protein, twice a week you can make your protein a seafood rather than just sticking to chicken. You can also vary your routine and choose beans, peas, nuts, and seeds. You also want to keep the portions small and lean. So what you did was fill out the sheet for me based on your foods. We took a look at what you ate each day, and you told me you thought that your Oreos were the least nutrition, most decay producing, and bad for you. And this is all true because there's no nutritional value and there's high sugar content. So maybe instead of choosing Oreos, you can stick to a fruit option instead. Also, we went through and took a tally, and 9 foods that you ate were processed, 5 are high in fat and 2 are high in sodium. So it looks like you do have a lot of canned or frozen food, maybe fresh vegetables instead of canned. What I also went ahead and did was gave you some suggestions of meals that you can try out, so I'll let you go ahead and look over that on your own, but just some ways to vary your diet and switch things up a bit. Based on your general health, I know you're in good health and you take your vitamins daily and you exercise 30 minutes a day, which is great. You brush your teeth with an electric toothbrush 2 times a day, and you floss 3 times a week. You have just some composite fillings, which is okay. It seems like you're taking good care of your oral health. And you also mentioned that your meals are rushed because you go to school full-time and you work 16 hours a week. So maybe planning out your food ahead of time and doing some meal preps will be a good option for you. I also wanted to give you some information on the effects of dental and oral health on your general health. Numerous research studies have shown that there's a link between cardio disease, like heart disease, stroke, hypertension, and the key bacterium that's in the perio disease. There's also research that people with perio disease have more difficulty controlling their blood sugar levels, making diabetes hard to manage, and that perio disease can increase your risk of developing diabetes. Also, something to note is that mothers with perio disease are 7 times more likely to deliver premature, low birth weight babies, so it is important to keep your oral health in line. This sheet shows your gingival and plaque index. So the 3 visits that I had with you, we went in and looked at your gums and also your plaque. Each visit you were pretty good with your score, so you have a low plaque index and also your gingiva looks pretty good, so keep up the good work on that. This is some information on the effects of the diet and your oral health. So there is a relationship between diet and your dental decay. Fermentable carbs, sugars, and bacterial plaque interact and they form an acid, which is what demineralizes the tooth and causes decay. So there are 3 ways to minimize the risk of decay. first is to strengthen your teeth with a well-balanced diet, fluoridated water, and topical fluoride treatments. Also, you want to clean your teeth thoroughly of plaque and debris with your toothbrush and flossing techniques, which you're pretty good with. And decrease the frequency which you eat the fermentable carbs by limiting eating and drinking in between meals. Each time you eat food that contains sugar, the teeth are attacked for acids for 20 minutes or more. So based on that information, we took a look at your food diary and went ahead and made the dental carie risk assessment. So you mentioned that you eat a lot of flavored yogurt and ice cream. You eat that at least 2 times a week, and also bananas as well, which are really solid and sticky. So we tallied up these and gave you a point based on your risk. Your points are 4, which leaves you almost at the moderate risk for caries. So not too high, but it could be a little lower. So you might want to not sip constantly on sweetened beverages, avoid the flavored yogurt, maybe go for a plain yogurt, because there are hidden sugars in that. Also, as far as the ice cream goes, I know you know that's not really a good option, so maybe stick to a frozen yogurt or something that has a little bit less sugar in it. And also an option is to eat more non-decay promoting foods like a low-fat cheese, raw veggies, crunchy fruits and popcorn or nuts, or drink a lot of water instead of a sugary drink. This is also the decay promoting worksheet, so I went ahead and tallied up how many liquids and solids that you have in between your meals. It was pretty high, so that means 60 minutes out of a day your teeth are exposed to acids, so that is pretty high, so maybe cut down how much you're snacking in between your meals. And this sheet shows your dietary risk assessment for your health management. So as far as cholesterol, the good food source would be like animal products, egg yolks, and shrimp. The guideline from their diet on my plate is less than 300 milligrams a day, and you're at 201 milligrams a day, so that's really good, so you can keep up a good rate with that. Saturated fat is in most red meats, butter, and whole milk products, and my plate wants you to keep 10% of the total caloric intake, and yours was 11%. So a little high, so maybe use a low-fat milk. Polyunsaturated fat comes from fish. I know you only eat pretty much tuna, so maybe try to go for a bigger variety of fish, but if that's something that you don't like, you could always go for a fish oil supplement. And polyunsaturated fat comes from vegetables. They want you to keep all the fats to under 30% of calories, and yours is only at 6%, so that's pretty good as well. And monounsaturated fat, which is found in peanut butter and olives, cashews, and most of the nuts that you've been eating, they want you to keep that under 30 as well, and you're at 10%, so that's good too. Hydrogenated fat is in margarine or cookies and prepared snacks, so maybe instead of eating those Oreos, you can try to cut back on those and go for some almonds or nuts. And as far as sodium, they want you to be under 2,400 milligrams a day. You're a little high, you're at 2,851 milligrams a day, so I know a lot of that sodium probably comes in that processed food and table salt, so maybe avoid those and go for some fresher food instead. So I'm going to give all this information to you, so if you have any questions, but keep up the good work, and not a lot of changes need to be made, just some small changes. So when you come back the next time, we'll revisit this, and hopefully everything still looks as good as it does now. Good.